Welcome to the test pod again. And Rick, welcome. Welcome.
Thank you.
We can start with the introduction round and girls first.
Okay. Well, my name is Eva Holmqvist and I've worked with quality assurance and testing since, 1991.
Rick?
Well, I'm Rick Marcellus. I'm a principal quality consultant, and I've been in IT way longer than most people believe I did.
And Frederick and I is going to talk a little bit about DevOps and quality engineering around that. And Frederick, we are at Test Expo at the moment, and has there been a lot of discussions around DevOps and the quality engineering?
Yes, I think it's good that we have this because, people are able to ask certain questions and also investigate how it actually fits for them. And I think we're talking a lot about DevOps, but we should also talk a lot about how we build sustainable organizations that actually provide value. And I think so sustainable development is a term that I use perhaps is sometimes instead of DevOps, because it sometimes illustrates more of what we are aiming to achieve actually.
And Rick, being in this field for a while now, writing books about DevOps and quality engineering, what's your point of view of what's the topics here?
Well, the funny thing with DevOps is, to me, it's not all that new. Because in the mid-1980s, I was also in a team that worked similarly like we now promote with Agile and DevOps. The only thing back then, we didn't know that someone would call it Agile one day. But the basic thing is working together, good collaboration, and starting to think about what you need very early. Because before this, I did a session on quality engineering and testing. And one of the things that I also told the audience there is that the basic thing of quality engineering is build quality in from the start. And that also means really think well what you need. And that is one of the fundamentals of IT and IT delivery. And since our society has become more complex, and since IT has become more complex, it is also more complex to define what you actually want to have. And that's basically the challenge that we have in IT.
Eva, I hear that you...
Yeah, I do. I usually say that the main part in the quality engineering and testing is actually the communication. Because we have clear communication with stakeholders, the business and the IT professionals, you can't build in quality. So the basis is really the communication part, not the technology part.
And I think that a lot of people is very curious and wants to find the easy pathways.
Yeah.
The easy path. And do you have any case studies, storytelling around case at the moment that we are doing and that are success stories?
I think we have a lot of success stories. We are seeing teams actually come together and focusing on value. We have technical implementations. We have a lot of work to do to actually lift those stories up and tell them to the world that actually we're actually able to achieve this in many ways.
Rick?
Well, people often ask about how can we make things a success in an easy way. And the best way to make it easy is to supply people with the right tools like templates. So that's why on the website of TMAP, tmap.net, we have an awful lot of simple templates. And it is not because we want to force people to use Excel templates, but it is because we want to give them examples of how you can do it. And whether they use Excel or implement it in Jira or in whatever tool, but it is about giving them a simple structure that they can follow. Because one of the lessons we have learned is you want people to do the right things in the right way, but generally people only want to do easy things. So you need to help them by making the right things, the easy things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
making it easy to play and learn. So yeah.
Yeah.
And Eva, you and I have done a lot of podcasts together
Yeah.
about experience around test and quality engineering, and it has been some years now. And after a while, I see when I ask you questions now, it's more like the answer to all the questions is they have to bring value.
Yeah. Because that's the goal of everything. So that if we have that perspective all the time, we can take the correct decisions to reach the value. Because you can't have an easy to follow formula, because everything is very specific to this situation. But if you always aim for the value, you know to take the correct decision in this instance, in this situation.
And looking at the table now, there is a book here, Rick, and you are on the cover.
Yes.
One of the contributors or authors of Quality for DevOps and Teams. Isn't this this is the manual?
Well, when we started writing Quality for DevOps Teams, we were not so much aiming for a manual as for a source of inspiration. Because you always need to remain thinking by yourself. But IT in general and quality engineering more specifically is quite complex. It contains a lot of different things. So people often want to know where to start. And that's, for example, why we describe 20 topics, so that topic by topic you can decide, okay, I need to pay attention to this, and that part is already solved, so we don't need to bother about it. And that's the biggest value of a book like this, that it gives you easy access to find out where do I need to look in deeper, and where do I, don't need it right now, or it's already good enough.
And talking about manual, Frederick, we are trying to do that in the test part. This is the recipe, this is the thing that you have to do. But talking to you about your last assignment, for instance, it's a lot about culture.
Yes, it's. I think it's very much about culture. It's about how we talk to each other, how we ask the right questions at the right time, and I think, as Rick said, this book is an inspiration, but it's not a manual. It's not a recipe. It's something that you need to read and discuss and see where it actually helps and try things out. So this is also an aid for increased play and learn and explore.
But I also think that being in this field of quality engineering, people, the roles there, people wants to have they want to have the manual. They don't want to talk about culture.
No, it's often you want to have the easy way because it's easier, and you want to have a specific role. And in real life, life isn't so easy. Yeah, it's complex, and you need to look at the specific situation and make the best decision you can right now. And then you can have guidelines, and you can have examples, and you can have inspiration. But in the last instance, you actually need to make a decision depending on the situation you are in.
So, if I look at the book again, Rick, what are your favorite subjects in the book?
Well, it's one of the favorite subjects is, of course, the voice model, because today all our work starts with thinking about business value. But also I like very much the part about test design, because I think test design techniques still are not valued enough by people involved in quality and testing. And one of the parts that I really put in, because I need it myself all the time, is the appendix with the quality characteristics, because it's a list of quite a number of quality characteristics, and all the time I want to check, didn't we forget something? So it's in the book, so I easily have it at hand. And it's also, the appendix is the last part of the book, so if you take the book and you start from the back, you immediately have it. So that's easy.
And we should also mention a little bit about the new environment in testing and quality engineering. It needs skilling. It needs training.
Yeah.
And any thoughts there?
Yeah, one of the changes in the last years is that more people are involved in the testing. So people that before may have said that, well, that's the testers' thing to do. I don't need to care about it. They are now using testing. They are doing test activities. And this means that you have a large amount of people that have new testing training as well. And this is a competence as anyone else. So you need to make sure that everybody involved has a basic understanding of quality engineering and testing principles. Otherwise, you will spend a lot of time on tasks that are not actually bringing value.
Is it fun to make these sessions come alive, training sessions?
Is it fun to make training courses, or is it fun to do training courses?
Fun to see the people getting to know the testing in a new way.
Yeah, of course. One of the things that makes me wanna deliver training courses is because you see people grow and people see how they can improve their work, and that's very nice. And therefore, I'm very happy that we have all these training courses in the TMAP certification scheme. We have spent quite some effort to make it a logical group of training courses so people can really follow a path in the direction they want to go. And, more and more people see the value of it because we see more and more countries now starting to do TMAP training courses, and we're still working on extending it. So, it's nice.
We are at Test Expo, and what has the conversation been around?
What?
The conversation you had with all the attendees here, what was the topics? What's the main topics?
Well, it's obvious that by far the main topic today is generative AI. Everybody wants to talk about generative AI, and the main thing I've always warned people about is AI is not magic. So still you need to keep on thinking for yourself, but that it may be a very powerful tool. So I'm convinced that AI will help us a lot, but if you use it wrongly, then it can also give a lot of trouble. But that is with any tool.
Yes.
Yeah. But it will change our lives.
Sen, you, Eva, what have you heard?
I actually haven't discussed AI at all today. I more discussed agile testing and the difficulties with estimating the testing activities as well, and not only the development activities, because if you only estimate developing activities, you miss a lot of what the team needs to do. And also the difficulties when you have several teams that are dependent on each other and how you can work with that. So that has been my main topics.
And to end it all, Fredrik, Test Expo 2023, what has it been for you? A lot of conversation, I think. Huh?
A lot of conversation, and by just looking at this book and hearing about the voice model, I think the key word for me has been confidence, because this event has actually built, I think, confidence in testing, and that the testing industry is alive, and we all should talk about confidence more, on how to deliver informational value with confidence, how to feel confident with the systems that we develop, that it could be able to produce value. And I think this discussion is not something that we can put an end to here today, but it's a continuous discussion that we will have in the industry.
And moving forward, Rick, the book, you can order it. It is on our website, and you can also search for your podcast, for instance, and there is a lot of materials that we are releasing this autumn.
People can, of course, just buy the book, but you don't. You can also just go to the website, which is free to use for everybody in the world. But to really get a better understanding, it often helps a lot to take a training course, because then you get the whole structure and how things are related to each other, which is for some people more difficult to find in a book. On the other hand, some people just buy the book and start doing it, and that's fine with me. I'm very happy to see that actually we put something together that is useful to people. So, and when I say we, it's not only the people on the cover, but more than 80 people worked on it from 11 different countries. So it's really an international endeavor.
Quality for DevOps teams. It is a nice subject, and there is more information on the web. So thank you all. Thank you, Rick.
Thank you.